Welcome everybody to our Fallout campaign, Fallout Long Road. We are back after quite a long break, so we're all probably going to be taking a little bit of time to try to figure out where the hell we were.
In
I
Area
have
first-
no
51.
memory of this place.
In Area 51, we had just raided the armory. I believe we were about to do something before going down into the cupboard, the broom closet that was really a passageway to a secret lair or something.
And refresh luck and action points because it's new session. Huzzah!
No. Those don't refresh until new day now.
All right, you did a bit of it.
It's okay.
how-
I still have all of them.
I just used all my luck points last time to miss. Gosh dang, roll 20.
Yes. One quick thing though, before you guys actually head downstairs into the lair. What is it?
Yeah.
Thomas.
I had something I was gonna do.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get to Thomas first, real quickly. Thomas, you there?
That's your character's name, Jacob.
Jacob.
He was there a second ago.
I just said, yeah.
Oh, we didn't hear you. Sorry. Mike must have cut out or something. Anyways, whilst you guys were looting the armory, Thomas, you kind of go wandering around a little bit, checking out a few of these other rooms, and you remember that this is the barracks that your great-great-granddaddy, Carlos, did stay at. And you do also remember there was a message etched on the glass of his cryopod.
We never told him that.
He was with
He
you
thought
guys and helped you
so.
salvage some of the stuff, so he would have most likely have seen it.
Alright, so that's what my character was gonna go do.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't tell him about that.
But my character still saw it. He was over at the wreckage and everything and saw it for himself. Y'all even identified the pod as his great grandfather's.
I have literally no stake in this.
You know what? Actually, then here we'll do this instead. Sorry. Both Axel and Thomas, just give me a straight D20, and highest roll gets the drop on the other, basically.
I mean, yeah, both could be true. Thomas could be like, oh, I noticed this thing, so I'm going to go look for it. And you could be thinking that he didn't know about it, so you're going to go look for it.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. So, yeah, sorry, Thomas. Axel, actually. We'll go back over to Axel at this moment now.
Yeah, no, that was how we had left off, as you had told me to wait until next session, and then we took a month off.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason why I forgot about it. We took a month off.
I mean, it all works out in the end. You go to do this thing, and then halfway through that, Thomas comes in, right?
Yes. Well, Thomas basically is helping loot the armory. Axel, you see an opportunity here and steal away real quickly, as you do actually know, first of all, where Carlos's bunk was as well. And his message on the glass, which was, I believe, if I remember correctly, shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, NPR's just over here, like,
No
Mr.
stake
Diego,
whatsoever.
where do you want this rocket launcher?
Bullet 1, bullets 2, bullets 3.
Yeah, just counting out all of the 5mm ammo one by one. And it's not terribly difficult for you to find his bunk. However, everything has been tossed and turned, and the shelf that it would have been on, most likely, might not necessarily be in the same place. So I am going to have, and I was going to have Thomas do this if he found it first anyways, or headed to it first anyways. Let me get a, let's see here.
Have
But
to
we don't really
remember.
have a good. So we'll do perception and survival, I guess. Or is there another good one? Not really. So we'll do perception and survival.
Okay, that's the
And
D20.
difficulty of 1.
And I rolled 2 dice, yeah?
Yes.
Unless you add an AP for it.
Remembering how system works.
Yep. It has been a while. Okay. All right. So, yes, the shelf has collapsed indeed. You take a quick moment around, looking around. The bunk itself is kind of almost disintegrating, but still, you shove the bunk aside just a little bit quietly. You don't want to draw attention to what you're doing. And you do indeed find the journal underneath the bunk itself. Um, kind of picking that up. You have a few minutes, however, or a few moments. However, at this moment, I will have you do a sneak and agility, and
Bunk.
let's do. Let's see here. What would be? Doot. It would just unfortunately be perception and survival from Thomas. As you hear somebody approaching the room, and fearing that it might indeed be Thomas, you're going to try to quickly sneak the diary away, either on yourself or somewhere else, and move yourself away from Carlos's bunk in an effort to, seem like you weren't trying to siphon through Thomas's ancestral belongings. Thomas, you need like I said, the perception and survival is what I think we're going to go with. And this is as you're entering the room to see if you can kind of catch Axel as he's pocketing the book or moving away from the bunk itself.
Did you need me to roll as well?
All right, that's 1 success from Thomas.
Did you need me to roll as well?
Yes, yours is going to be sneak and agility. What was?
I'm not even trying.
You rolled 2T0.
Yes, I know.
Oh. Okay, you're not even going to try
Nope.
to hide it.
Nope, I'm opting to auto fail.
Okay. So yes, Thomas, as you're entering the room, you do see indeed Axel with what certainly looks to be a book as he is standing over a very old, dilapidated bunk. You wouldn't necessarily be 100% certain that this is the journal necessarily, but would also possibly be something that would cross your mind.
Well,
37 5mm bullets. 38 5. Sorry, go ahead.
I lost my train of thought now. God damn it.
He was laughing so hard.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
You do see Axel both holding the book and standing over an old dilapidated bunk that he has obviously moved out of the way.
I take it that's mi abuela's bunk there.
Abuelo.
Abuelo,
What's that mean again?
grandfather's.
Yeah. No, this was his bunk. He left a message for us that he had something here. I'm trying to see if I can figure out what exactly he was talking about. Did manage to find this this journal. Looked like he had it hidden it away. What have I been able to read in the journal so far? Does it seem like it?
Okay, so flipping through the pages real quickly as Thomas is walking up. You know what? Let's go ahead and get another let's do actually perception and science this time.
Okay.
And I'm going to make the difficulty the difficulty is going to be somewhat arbitrary here, or somewhat dependent upon what you actually roll. The more successes you roll, the more information you glean.
Okay, I'll burn an AP.
Okay. Woof.
What do I need to do to re-roll the 20?
That's
Luck
a
dice.
luck point, yeah.
Cool.
Just do not crumble the book into dust, please.
Yeah. We
Okay.
kind of need
Okay,
that.
1 success.
One success. Okay. You're not going to glean, sadly, a whole bunch, as most of the writing seems to be almost senseless.
Almost senseless what?
I think Dan just died.
Oh no.
We lost our GM. Alright,
Great, now-
what's our next campaign?
What?
I don't know.
I haven't finished the one I'm working on.
I need to work on that. The one I need to work on. I think I'm gonna start using Saturdays so long as we don't have a game to work on it with. We're using Saturday nights to work on it.
Did you just say you need to work on the one you need to work on?
Yes, the Red Moon
technically-
Saga.
Technically correct, but that wording.
I'm. Up there he goes.
Okay, okay. Wow, that was weird. Am I back?
You
Yes,
are.
yes.
Oh,
Okay.
guys, it looks like Dan didn't die. We don't need a new Sunday campaign.
Okay, sorry about that. It kicked me, but it didn't kick me out. That was really weird. Okay,
Technology.
yes. That was very weird.
What have you
Okay.
done, NPR?
All right, so most of it is okay. So most of what you see from the book seems to be not senseless ramblings, but ramblings about the vault that his family is living in, ways off the base, his time here at the base, his squad mates. There is you would glean one or two things about that he was sent here to simply blend in, seemingly, with Project Dawnstar.
Okay. Anything else?
I think we lost him again.
Oh no.
Well, that's a fun little hiccup.
Yeah.
Discord B, Discord.
Yup.
My internet is fine.
You may want to restart Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, how the hell do I actually turn off Discord?
So in the
Control,
lower,
delete, and program.
or in the lower
Oh.
right-hand corner, you can hit your pop-up, go to the Discord, right-click, and hit quit Discord.
Yep. There's 2 ways.
Switch accounts. Edit profile. No, what the fuck? I don't see it.
So
Alright.
you see the green like Discord circle?
Yes, in the bottom left.
Bottom right, but
Bottom.
wherever your task bar
Yes.
collection is, yeah, right click on it. It should say Discord, mute, deafen, check for updates, acknowledgements, quit Discord.
Mute. No, it doesn't have quit Discord.
Oh, then yeah, just Control Shift Escape, and then
It doesn't
just
have quit Discord under acknowledgements?
yeah, no, then just Control Shift Escape and pull up your task manager and just hard shut it down.
Do.
And there he goes again.
Am I back?
You are.
Okay. Hopefully I stay back this time.
Hopefully.
We pray.
I do not
Alright.
know what the hell is going on there. But okay.
So is trying to blend in with Project Dawnstar, and then you died again. Was there anything
Okay.
else?
The only thing I would say is you don't catch any malice. However, malice intent. However, you're only grabbing like sentences from like 3 or 4 different pages scattered throughout this journal. You're not actually like reading through whole sections at this particular point.
Okay. Well, looks like he was sent here to blend in by someone.
Am I able to kind of like take a peek over his shoulder and see if I notice anything? Like if anything is in code or in a different language?
I mean, I'm not gonna stop him.
The largest obstacle will be that it's slightly awkward to have 2 people read a book.
Yeah.
True.
Like, Axel isn't gonna explicitly, like, hand it over yet, but...
Oh yeah.
Oh, connection. Am I back?
You're back.
Okay, so something funky is going on with my internet then. But it's weird because my internet's saying it's perfectly fine. Okay, anyways, go ahead, guys. Sorry. So yes, roll me, like I said, perception and science. And it'll be a little bit easier because I'm guessing at this point Axel's not kind of just blitzing through, but probably now kind of dwelling on the page by page. So actually, you know what, Axel, you can go ahead and give me another roll as well.
Okay.
As you're both kind of reading this thing.
I'm not gonna burn another AP for a 10 target, but...
Okay.
Wow, it would have been nice if I'd gotten that the first time, but...
Alrighty.
Let's go.
Okay, so now this is going to be a little bit of the fun part, because a little bit of this was going to be on Jacob, but I kind of have to homebrew this a little bit. Because it has been a while. But,
Jacob, what do we find?
So, for Jacob, or for Thomas, thumbing through the pages a little bit slower now, it is nice and somewhat sentimental for you to kind of be reading your great-grandfather's notes and whatnot about his life in the base, and his longingness indeed to get back to the vault, hopefully at some point. Axel, you catch this before Thomas does, though.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that somehow or another, Carlos had information that the Enclave, shit. Oh fuck, I'm forgetting now what the heck it was. I'm sorry, that the U.S. government, at least, was indeed supposedly in talks with China for peace. There is also another little thing, though, that describes Carlos's last orders as being possibly ending all operation or all implants within Operation Long Road and recalling them. The notes from Carlos would seem to suggest that the Enclave no longer deemed it necessary to pursue this avenue, as there would possibly be no reason nor threat from it. A little bit vague, though it does.
A
Fuck! Did
threat
I
fro-
just?
Threat from
No, okay, the rest.
China or threat from
The
project?
threat from the project to seemingly the Enclave, or possibly the U.S. government itself. Almost like the concern was the army might be attempting a coup on the government. And we lost Jacob.
We did lose Jacob, yes.
Oh, god damn it, Discord.
Okay, so maybe it's not just me. Alright, and he's back. I hope.
Okay, so apparently my turn to have issues.
I passed
oh.
the boogie on to you.
Oh, me now.
God damn it. Taylor.
Don't do that to us, man. It's already bad enough. Alright.
So how much did you miss, Jacob?
Plant to end all plants with the Long Road initiative.
Yes, so the notes from Carlos seeming to suggest that the Enclave had infiltrated all of Operation Long Road out of concerns of it being a possible threat to the Enclave and the U.S. government, almost like the U.S. Army might be planning some sort of coup.
Huh. That's interesting.
However, it was no longer deemed a threat, at least according to Carlos's notes. So the two takeaways are basically that China wasn't at least, or at least shouldn't have been a threat, and the idea you guys would kind of get from this was that the Enclave wasn't necessarily in a position nor desire to necessarily sabotage, merely to observe.
Huh. Well, that's kind of a relief.
That does leave the question of who it was that attacked our base. Then, I think we're gonna need to. We're definitely gonna have to locate at least some of the bodies of the people who attacked, or some of the at least one intact power armor, to figure out what exactly was going down. Try to identify who it was that attacked.
Maybe possible if we can find one of the power armors to get into some of the base code. I kind of find out the manufacturer and the sort. Otherwise,
that would be useful.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, given how long it's been since the attack, I mean, this attack literally happened when the bombs fell. There's a good chance that this place has been scavenged top to bottom by settlers, scavengers, and hell, even raiders. If not being used by these ghouls as their mind's been going.
Let me check my notes really quickly.
What do you remember of these the attack anyway? The armor, the look of the armor, and the
I mean, it almost looked like someone was using Space Marines.
I would have called it Black Ops, but yes.
I was doing a little friendly jab at Dan because he was using Space Marine tokens.
Me just being over here being a Necron.
Almost perfectly, yes.
I mean,
We're just missing the gauze cannon.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
rifle.
the attack can't. It's been a while, Dan. Can you re-describe the attackers for me? Because it's been a few months for us. It's been like 2 days for Axel.
Yeah, give me a second here, because I can also provide visual representation as well, to kind of help out here. So, oh, get your ass over there, you jerk. Where the hell are you? Oh shit, where the hell did you go? Wait, what the fuck?
What the fucks are never good.
I'll preemptively say, God damn it, roll 20.
Come on.
It's probably roll 20's fault.
What the hell? I had these.
Always
images.
possible.
Where the hell did they go?
Always likely. Are you looking for the token?
Yeah. Wait, is it maybe?
It
No.
would be in your gallery of uploads.
Oh, found it. Okay. Shit. Okay, I was getting really nervous.
so,
what the hell?
So it's not Space Marines, it's Casterkin.
Okay.
See? Imperial Guard. That is a las gun.
We are
There's
going
the rifle.
deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole.
You can't disguise that very specific design, and I can see the areola on it. So
These were again the closest I could find to what I wanted.
I know that it's
to be
it's
honest,
fine. I just like
this is
poking at
actually
it.
going to be later on down the road. This is actually going to be another image for them, and it's again literally Imperial Guard.
Yep.
Damn it.
I mean, the Imperial Guard are basically just like future Marines.
Yes.
I mean,
Um,
the soldiers were decked out in a lot of armor, had a lot of high-tech weapons, had some correct me if I'm just completely wrong on my interpretation of what was happening from what you guys have told me about Fallout. They had like a different style of vertibird that we'd never seen before.
That is correct. Yes. It was a sleeker vertibird that did not have props, but seemed to be using some sort of jet engine.
Yeah, very sleek, propless vertibird using jets. Some I don't know.
Valkyrie.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know if it's high tech or for the time or not power armor.
It's certainly unlike any power armor you guys have ever seen. And working at Area 51, you guys have seen quite a few different power armors.
Yeah, no, the power armor wasn't like anything I'd ever seen from U.S. or China.
China doesn't have power armor, just FYI.
Okay, sure. No power armor I'd ever seen from the U.S.
China doesn't have power armor.
Or at least
It's Power
I can
Rangers.
fix
No,
that, sorry.
that's-
China does not have power armor that you guys are aware of. No reports have ever come back of China having power armor. And these are
If I remember correctly, you had said that it almost seemed like the power armor had like sealed the pilot inside.
It certainly wasn't. There was a bit more sci-fi to it. That yes, you guys would be familiar enough with power armor to be able to tell how to get in and out, and these did not seem to have the same type of designs to them. I think what you might be thinking more so of was the helmet was not a separate piece. It seemed to be part of the power armor itself.
I explain all that in the right way.
The troopers themselves were wearing more desert camo, with gray or browns, tans, a little bit of green, though their underclothing was a dark color of some kind or another. At that point in time, nobody made any good enough checks, perceptions, and couldn't tell what the actual colors were. It was the same thing with the vertibirds and the power armor.
I
The
thought-
colors being a dark, almost seemingly black color, though there being a distortion to them of some kind or another.
Yeah, I thought you said the vertebrates were black.
They were a blackish color. Again,
Okay.
you guys did. I think you guys did make a couple of rolls. Nobody rolled high enough to figure out what the color actually was. But there was a distortion to it that it would seem to have not been black, but it would be hard to tell what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I explained all of that. I'm not gonna try to V-word your sentences.
Nah, it's okay. I'll get rid of those for right now. All right. Is there anything you guys else wanted to ask? Or
Well, I tell all of that to
Jacob?
Thomas.
Everything about the futuristic sci-fi power armor, the soldiers wearing somewhat strangely fancier armor than you guys have seen, as well as more advanced laser weaponry, it would seem, as well. Interesting to note, Thomas, nobody mentions anything about plasma weapons.
Did we lose Jacob again?
He might just be thinking, or his mic might have cut out again. Yep, his mic has cut out again. I saw him playing around with his mic a little bit, so... Oh, boy, what the hell is going on here? Discord is not being nice to us tonight.
No, it is not.
I know when I was trying to restart, it wouldn't let me exit out of chat here. Like, I would click the disconnect, but it wouldn't disconnect me. So I have to rejoin, disconnect, disconnect.
Testing, testing.
There it is.
Hey, you exist again.
For some reason, my mute switch got hit.
Oh, okay.
So my mic muted itself.
Ah.
Okay. What would I need? Okay, first off, just off of that description, would I know off the top of my head what that might, any reports or anything, or would I need to roll to recall any type of reports or rumor or hearsay about it?
Say no. A deciding factor would most likely be, again, a lack of any and all plasma weaponry. That would be probably your only big clue of, well, that rules out a certain somebody.
Yeah. Do you recall if any of them were using any plasma weapons or any type of weaponry they were using? It sounds a lot. It sounds a lot like you were up against the type of wetworks unit.
I mean, from what I can recall, just it was just ballistics and energy.
That's interesting.
If I'm remembering correctly, Dan.
Yes. It would mostly be laser weapons. There were few ballistic weapons, at least that you guys saw, aside from maybe one or two heavy weapons. But in general, they almost all were using laser weapons.
Yeah, it does sound like you were up against some type of some type of spec ops or wetworks team. Total, but for them to be attacking the base of a full, most spec ops, they would keep a low profile, kind of sneak in to get the job done. And these power armors, it's like you mentioned the head was like an absolute, like completely attached to the body of the power armor, like a dome or collar of some sort.
Kinda, yeah. No, we took out a few of them from what we could tell just in passing. Like, we're fairly familiar with power armor, obviously, but like we couldn't tell any like concrete way on just looking at it of getting in or out of it.
Out of curiosity, did any of y'all get a good look at any of the corpses you left behind? If they were actually human?
At one point, having a moment or two to breathe, would loot a couple of bodies
Yeah.
to find some ammo and whatnot. And yes, they were human.
Yeah, no, they were human.
That rules out anything Institute-wise, then.
I will actually go ahead and do this. Well, NPR, you're not a part of this conversation, or have you wandered in by this point?
I'm not part of this conversation so far. You'll see what I'm doing. I'm
Uh-oh.
sorting through all the items we found.
Bullet
And-
56, bullet 57, bullet
Yeah.
58.
I'm still sorting through all the items, categorizing them, putting them in inventory, etc. Equipping some gear, basic stuff.
Okay, so then,
Oh no.
Axel. This is going to be nearly impossible difficulty. It is a difficulty of 5.
Okay.
And this is going to be an intelligence. And you're probably not, but just in case.
Uh-huh.
An intelligence and let's see here. I will give you a choice.
Which would be helpful if you were including the trained medical person in this conversation. But he's busy.
of survival or science.
Is there any way I might be able to assist with this role?
No, this is a bit
Like
of a
better-
memory recollection.
That's why I was about to say. Alright? If it's a memory recollection bit, there are certain questions or phrases that might help direct the memory to recall.
Not in this particular case.
Okay.
This is a bit of a kind of a flash memory, real quickly, as fighting was still going all around. While looting some of those bodies, Axel may have been able to glean a little bit more information that would be crucial.
Would I be able to use perception instead?
No, I'm going to say intelligence because this is a memory thing.
Okay.
But I will drop it down to a difficulty of 4. Just because
Okay.
5 is
Let me
Sorry, what's difficulty for? I feel
He's
like I missed
trying to
something here.
recall.
Let me
Trying
check.
to recall if the people are human.
No.
trying to see if he can recall any crucial bits of information about some of the bodies he looted in a moment of downtime. Not downtime, but
Okay, well, I was shocked because I was misunderstanding that then.
Alright,
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong. It's 1, then 2, then 3 AP for adding extra dice.
right. So it'd be a total of 5 there.
Cool. I'm burning all of my
Or no,
extra
6.
action points to roll 5 dice.
Okay.
Oh. Good luck, Silent. We know you can do this. Do not let the boon of the 20 turn into your curse.
Ah!
Oh!
Oh!
It was a long shot with having to use intelligence because I have no intelligence, which is why I was asking perception because, like, if I was trying to catch like little details, perception is what does that. And it
in the moment, yes, but this is recalling from memory now. That is why I am sticking to intelligence, unfortunately. And
It's also just an unfortunate difficulty for something that was very short-lived.
yes.
Which doesn't matter much because it could have been difficulty 1 and you would have failed.
He's not wrong.
So, yeah, no. As you try to think back in that moment, there's just nothing else that comes to mind, unfortunately. There was a lot of gunfighting going on around you. You were a little distracted, just needing to get some ammo so that you could carry on and hopefully survive to the next day. No other information comes back to you, sadly.
Alright.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else, unfortunately. For some reason, my extremely perceptive self didn't notice anything.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, for one, you've been in that cryo chamber for good Lord knows how long. Considering how long ago this has been, and well, what you went through, wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't remember every detail. But
So I'd be surprised if the... Yeah, did
actually,
you know if the Enclave has anything that can, like, distort color?
distort
Not
color.
really, aside from stealth boys, but the army has those too.
Uh,
Cough, cough, cough.
I mean, there are stealth boys. There's been this rumor going around the settlements about a type of armor that kind of does the same thing, but nah.
is the only other thing I can think of is the people that attacked us. They were wearing some kind of clothing underneath their armor, and it was the same with their vertibirds. They looked to be black, but there was almost like a distortion on it of some kind.
Okay, so clarify there. The distortion is you could tell that it wasn't necessarily black, but you can't remember what the color was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
That's,
so
that's
so
more
it's,
the distortion.
so it
Sorry.
wasn't that there was a distortion on it at
No.
all.
No.
It's more along the lines of, depending on the lighting that was hitting it, it looked to be black, but it wasn't really black.
At
Alright.
certain angles, some of the vertibirds might have looked blue. At other angles, they might have looked gray.
I think the word you're looking for is a sheen.
They
yes,
had a pearlescent coloration.
Of some sort or another, but was hard to focus on in the moment, unfortunately.
Hey, Axel.
Yeah.
Was was NPR with you during the whole attack?
Yeah, he was.
Maybe there might be something in his memory banks that we can also correlate with.
Yeah, no, that would be a good idea. Do you want to go check in with him?
Yeah, let's go check with him real quick. He's probably still doing inventory.
Yeah, no, you go check in with him. I'll be right with you.
Hey, you find anything interesting in my grandpa's journal? Let me know, all right, man?
I'm just gonna hand the journal to you.
I appreciate it. I'll give this a better read. I'll give this a better read later. If I find anything more interesting, I'll let you both know. As it stands, given the state we're in now, it's like, I don't see too much sense keeping too many secrets. Know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I say as my character's about to keep a secret.
Of course.
You were playing this way more 007 than I was expecting, Axel.
Well,
it's
Axel's
what my character is.
Yeah, I was about to say, his character's built to be the sneaky bastard.
True.
Okay, mine's more built to be survival chemist, nuclear physicist.
Yeah.
Alright, so my character's gonna go head on over from the barracks to the storeroom where NPR is at.
Yeah,
Okay.
do
Okay, you see NPR
Oh no.
counting bullets into a container, wearing a faded blue pinstripe suit with a fedora.
I am immediately gonna stop at the door, do a double take of this, and like, NPR, did you get dressed?
I thought this might help make it so it was less obvious that I was a robot from long distances.
Now he just looks like Al Capone.
You know what? I'm going to give it to him. Very few people would be expecting that from a Saltron.
How did you even get the pants on? Okay then.
It seems likely that this was designed for somebody with a larger frame than yours.
Nah, you ain't right. That does look like it fit Bit Boy. Still, fucking hell.
God damn it,
Totally
Taylor.
threw me. Yeah. Okay, NPR, real quick.
That may in fact prove that I am correct in assuming that this will help disguise my nature from others who would either be off-put by it or maliciously seeking to take advantage of it.
You're gonna definitely throw some people off, NPR. That's for certain.
I hope that's a good thing.
We will see. NPR, do you have in your memory banks the day that you and your team were assaulted on base here before you went into power down while everybody else was cryogenically frozen?
I have a lot of that information in my memory banks, but is there anything in particular that you were hoping to find from that day?
Well, we found my grandfather's journal. It turns out that he was here to keep watch of the very project that y'all were actually sent up into. Originally they thought it was going to be used as a it was initially like a threat to the U.S. and Enclave, but they determined that it was not going to be, and that it was actually set to be discontinued, just like the tape in Axel's. My brain's going dead.
The cryopod tape, actually, separate.
Actually, wasn't there a tape that was given to Diego, but in the pit that was inside the Pip-Boy that Alex then took from him?
Axel, yes, but that was a separate.
That was something separate.
holocron.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There was a I'm looking at my notes here. There was a recording from General Kelly and a note in a recording that we found from Captain Palmeter.
Okay.
The one from Captain Palmeter indicated that Operation Long Road was set to be discontinued. The discontinue date was set to be roughly 2 months from when we ended up having to launch.
Mm-hmm.
With notes
right.
I'm just gonna copy and paste this.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just hit the realization point there. Yeah, and I just now remembered that it was like recorded right like 1 or 2 days before the attack happened, if not the day of the attack.
Yes.
So.
All right.
Yeah,
so...
the recording date was the day of the attack. The attack happened on October 23rd, and it was recorded on the 23rd.
All right. So, what did you say to NPR's question?
Yeah. So, we found my grandfather's journal. My grandfather's journal pretty much confirmed the same thing as Palmeter was saying, that Operation Long Road was going to be discontinued. He was supposed to be pulling any Enclave assets out. At that time, I believe he had just per the journal, he had only just received notification of it just 1 or 2 days prior to it. But Axel and I were talking about the attack, and we're wanting to double check details of whoever attacked you, because based on my grandfather's notes and what Axel recalls of these boys, y'all weren't attacked by Enclave at all. Y'all were attacked by some very advanced wetworks or mercenary group, from what I could tell. Wanted to see about if you recalled anything extra in your databanks.
Give me a moment. Some of the data might need some additional reconstruction after the long state of dormancy I was in.
Do what you need to recompile.
Dan, what do I roll for this?
All right, so it is going to be actually a little bit easier because of how recent this was. So your difficulty is going to be a 3. And it is going to be still intelligence and either survival or science.
I wouldn't say it was in regards to how recent it is. In the difference between NPR and Axel is cryogenically frozen. Okay, NPR was just in a state of hyperextended charge sleep mode.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in standby. The Windows updates when I reloaded, those are this took a while.
This would have actually been more difficult had you guys gone about doing other like side missions and whatnot. Would have bumped it up for specifically NPR being the robot of the group. He would be able to recall certain details a little bit better than Axel would be able to.
Right. Sorry,
that-
what was the roll again?
So it's going to be intelligence and either survival or science.
Cool.
And it's a difficulty of 3 in this case.
Which means I have literally no action points. So,
Uh-oh.
Cowabunga.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, almost a critical success.
Just missed it. Wait a minute. Is science tagged for you?
No.
Okay.
No, science is tagged for me.
Okay.
I would have a lower difficulty if I was trying specifically to recall medical information.
Yes. But
But
unfortunately,
I'm not.
This is not strictly medical. 2 successes, however, well, let me see here. Is there anything that I could give you for 2 successes? I would say that there is one other thing that NPR noticed both on the vertibirds, these strange, sleek-looking vertibirds, as well as on one of the dead soldiers during that moment of reprieve the squad had while they were searching the bodies for extra ammo. And that would be, you do remember there being what certainly seemed to be gold trimming, possibly, on the uniforms, the under uniforms, as well as possibly the vertibirds, although the vertibirds, it's a little bit more difficult to tell exactly. It was certainly a tannish color, but difficult to say exactly what.
All right. I think I can work with that.
Apologies.
Remind me, did Diego have a rank of any sort? that
He was your
referred to
sergeant.
by? No,
He was your sergeant.
Thomas Diego.
No, he's a civilian.
No, he did not. He did not give a rank.
Okay. Apologies, Mr. Diego. I remember the incident quite well, but my programming is mostly involved with hand-to-hand combat and combat medicine. I do recall there was a warm metallic trim on some of the uniforms and vehicles that did not seem to fit the overall coloration. I assume that means that there was some purpose for it, but as I am not an engineering unit, I could not tell you what it is.
What kind of color was it?
Warm metallics typically include copper, bronze, gold.
So the vertibird and the under armor that they wore had a bit of a sheen. Seemed to be black unless you looked at it from a different angle, and it looked like they had some type of copper or golden lining to
Correct.
it. This is definitely not Enclave. Then Enclave, they're pretty hardcore in regards to uniform being well, it's a dark color like a navy, like a very deep navy blue or a very dark gray, but there's no gold incorporated at all. Usually it's silvers.
I apologize that I cannot tell you whether it was an aesthetic choice or a functional one.
No, but it may be an identifying marker nonetheless. There were other intelligence agencies that did not agree with the Enclave, one such being the Secret Service. But I don't think this would be the Secret Service either. Axel might be right. We may need to keep our eyes open in case we run across anything like any bodies with an intact armor inlay, or even if we're lucky enough, one of those futuristic power armors. If we're lucky enough, we might be able to get into the core programming of one of those and figure out the manufacturer. We might be able to figure out where these came from.
It may also be helpful if we're able to find a corpse or any remains from the soldiers who are here. If time has not completely disintegrated their bones, there may be signs of what type of weaponry were used, which might help.
In that case, we might want to go ahead and check every ghoul we take out. Ghouls are hellaciously long-lived. There are still sane ghouls that survived when the bombs have fallen, though. That's a feat in and of itself. We may want to check the bodies of the ghouls that we take out just to see if any of them are even from that day, and not just any wandering ghoul that just took up residence here.
Technically, both myself and Cooper are survivors of the bombs as well.
Yeah, but you're not ghoulified. You both have, well, Axel specifically, he survived the effects of ghoulification because you both were up in orbit when the bombs hit the ground. Ghoulification happens when an excess of radiation hits the body. I heard one time over in there was a report from the Capital Wasteland, just kind of a story of a nuke going off in a small settlement that took up around it. Very few survivors, all of them ghoulified.
It's fortunate then that the pods were designed to protect from long-term radiation in orbit. This is also likely the reason I have not lost more of my own data.
Yeah, that was probably the whole plan of sending whoever was in cryogenic into orbit to escape any of that, sickness or radiation. The ghoulification, that was a bit of a new wrinkle when the bombs fell. Nobody really knew about ghouls until someone actually left the vault and ran into them. Now that I think about it, there's been word down the grapevine of an entire city of ghouls that's based out of a vault. Now that I recall, That'll be a story for another time. I think we're getting off task. How close are you close are you to finishing up inventory?
NPR gestures to two large, like, metal crates on a table.
I had just finished up prior to your questioning.
I appreciate the assist, NPR. I'll go catch up with Axel real quick. I get the feeling we're about ready to go ahead and get moving towards where Project Long Road was actually initiated at.
Should we ferry these supplies back to the truck before continuing, or do you think it best to leave them here and retrieve them on the way out?
Truck's a bit of a walk from you guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be best if we come back for it. Come back for it once we get a secure lane done up.
Great. NPR has a lot of carrying capacity that he's not using because he doesn't really need a lot.
Oh yeah, but actually, I'll be honest, we don't really expect any other scavengers to be here right now. And so long as we've secured the barracks and we can lock it up in a way where only we can go back inside, that will help out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And keep the supplies secure where we can bring it back to the truck after we're all done. Hence, effectively keeping our inventory that we've already logged down for the truck.
To be fair, we could realistically just see if the front doors can lock, because where we need to go is in this building.
Mm-hmm. I thought we came about halfway.
No, I believe it was in the barracks.
The barracks was where we were coming for the clue of the shelf.
You guys are in the barracks right now.
Yep. No, we need to be in the barracks.
I'm confused now. I thought first was the barracks, and then we were going to go to where Project Long Road was initiated, where the rocket was set
It
up.
is, but it's beneath you guys.
Oh.
The entrance to it is here in the barracks.
Yep.
We need to fight.
There's an underground bunker in the barracks, and General Kelly's note gave us the entrance key.
Okay, before we do that, I will be right back. I need to take a short bio break.
That's fine, because that gives...
Axel's doing, nobody else should know.
Yep.
So, alright, Axel, what else are you going to be doing in a little bit of a secretive way? Whilst Thomas and NPR are discussing ancient times.
I'm popping in the holodisk.
Okay. Alright, popping in the holodisk, you click the button, you hear the tape start spinning up. This is General Kelly. To anybody who is hearing this, welcome to Operation and all of a sudden the tape starts.
I'm popping in a different holodesk.
No, hold on. The sound that you hear is the sound of what is obviously recording over. So whatever the message previously was, it had been recorded over to this, whatever the new message is going to be.
Okay.
And in that moment, you hear, "This is General Kelly. Listen, whatever's happening, it's not only happening at your base, it's everywhere, all across the United States. I'm issuing an emergency executive decision to all members of Operation Long Road. You are going to be all given promotions, field promotions, enacted via this holotape. You must keep it on you whenever you're at military installations. It's the only way you'll get direct access to more important facilities, as well as information. It might even bypass certain security features. You must keep this holotape on you." All right, I'll pause there for a minute. Sorry. Okay, I'll hold off a minute. Sorry. I wanted to get a lot of the stuff out and then break it down a little bit more. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm getting my notes page set up now. Just to make sure we're on the same page. This is the holodisk that was in Carlos's Pip-Boy.
Carlos's inventory, yes.
Okay. So All members of Long Road got promotions. Keep hollow disc on you at Terry Relations. What else did you say about it?
What was happening with the base that was under attack isn't the only base. Several bases were under attack all throughout the U.S. So several bases under attack throughout U.S.
Okay.
Another thing he says is that while the holotape is being in your Pip-Boy or in a computer, it is emitting a specific key frequency that rewrites almost all military facility securities to recognize holders of holotape as officers. And there is more too, but we'll wait till you get that done.
Submitting a frequency / key that as an officer and overrides security.
Yes.
Okay.
It then stops, and a robotic voice comes on and starts going through your squad. Unfortunately, all of it is error, subject no longer active, until it gets to actually first King, which possibly surprises you a little bit,
Okay.
as everybody else has been listed as inactive.
Okay.
When it gets to King, the robotic voice comes on, which I believe he was just a corporal. Corporal King, promoted to rank of Captain King. And then it proceeds on again to another few of your squad mates. One or two actually weren't present during the day, but are also unfortunately listed as no longer active, until it hits both Axel and MPR07, to which it goes, Axel Cooper, promoted to rank of Sergeant Axel Cooper. MPR07, promoted to rank of Lieutenant. MPR07.
Okay, again, I can't spell rank, so I'm just gonna have to...
Yeah, nobody can spell lieutenant, including the Brit. Well, actually, the British can't pronounce it.
Okay.
They always say lieutenant. There's no F in it!
That's actually the original word.
Continue.
English spelling is weird.
That is going to be most of it, most of the message. One big thing is that while Kelly was speaking, you could actually hear fighting in the background. Gunfire, explosions, and the like. When it cut out, it was
recorded.
obviously deliberate, not something where he was cut short. He
Okay.
ended the tape. It wasn't ended externally or unplanned.
So it was recorded during the attack.
Yes.
Did it list Thomas at all?
No, it does not list Thomas.
Okay, so all of our squad members, other than King, Axel, and MPR, are listed as inactive, and Thomas is not listed on the tape.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, is there more?
That is... Oh, I'm sorry. There is one other thing that General Kelly does say in it. I'm sorry, actually, there's a couple more things that General Kelly says in it. I'm sorry, I just found them. Okay. So after, or just before the ranks are issued, One of the he quickly also slips in there. First things first. This couldn't have been the Chinese. We were in talks with them, and they don't have power armor or vertibirds. So whoever the hell it is, they somehow stole our technology. It's got to be the Enclave. They're the only ones who know about this. Listen, you have to figure out, nukes also dropped all over the country, but we had no early warning. We have troops in China. We should have seen the launches. You need to go to either the West Coast or to Boston. There are missile watching sites there. They should have time periods for when these missiles were first spotted. That should give us some idea of when the government knew about it and when these nukes first launched. You need to find these facilities, and you guys are actually given coordinates to certain facilities. One would be on the West Coast on California, or at least around California.
Okay, so not the Chinese attacking, using stolen technology from the U.S. ID's Enclave as attacker. Instructions. To go to the West Coast or Boston to figure out when the nukes launched. Where they launched from and when we knew about them.
Yeah, either West Coast or Boston. He does also slide in that to verify, you should also look for any other government listening sites that would have intercepted any chat from other locations that would have noticed missile launches.
Okay, he gave us coordinates, you were saying?
He gave you coordinates to a place on the West Coast, as well as coordinates to a specific facility out in Boston, or at least just outside of Boston, I should say.
And those were launch sites?
No, those were missile defense sites, in essence. Early detection sites. And if you were to be able to confirm some of these by hitting up communication sites, would lend a lot of credibility to figuring out possibly who was the attacker. One quick thing is slipped in as well. One other thing you could do to double check as well. In fact, this is going to be in order. The Vault-Tec organization. They also have their own early detection systems. There's a couple of headquarter places. The one that would most likely be the highest chance of still standing would be the one in Washington, D.C., though there would also be one in Boston. I don't know of any I don't know exactly of the ones on the West Coast, though I'm sure there'd be a few out there as well. But you'd need to double check these facilities as well. They should have early detection system as well, and we can use that to cross-verify to find out what the hell happened. I just can't believe the Chinese would do this. The war was almost over. And it's shortly after that that he finally turns it off.
Okay, let me confirm that I got everything down in my notes here.
All right.
All members of the Operation Long Road got field promotions. Keep the holodisc on you at military installations. The attack happened all over the U.S. at several bases. Not the Chinese attacking. They were using stolen technology from the U.S. He IDs the Enclave as the attacker. Instructions...
He says possible. I do want to clarify that, just to be safe, but yes.
As possible attacker. Instructions to go to the West Coast or Boston to figure out when the nukes launched, where they were launched from, and when we knew about the launch. Coordinates for a Cali-based location and a location just outside of Boston. Both early detection missile defense sites. Look for government listening sites that would have picked up on missile launch information. It's an order to go to the Vault-Tec.
HQ.
Okay. Vault-Tec. Missing sites. I'll reword that, but go to the Vault-Tec early detection systems in Washington, D.C. and Boston. Is D.C. their headquarters?
There are multiple headquarters. One is in D.C. There might be one in Boston as well, still standing.
Okay, so just go to the Vault-Tec locations in D.C. and Boston if they're still standing. Check their early detection systems, investigate, and cross-reference to verify what happened. While the holodisk is in a Pip-Boy or a PC, it is emitting a frequency key that recognizes the holder as an officer and overrides security. All squad members listed as inactive. King listed as promoted to captain. Axel is a sergeant. NPR is a lieutenant. Thomas is not listed on the tape as a member of the squad. And it was recorded during the attack on the base.
Correct.
That was what I was about to ask, is I didn't catch what happened to Carlos Diego on the tape.
Yes.
Carlos was listed as inactive.
Carlos or
Okay.
Thomas?
Carlos.
Yes.
Carlos was the grandfather. Thomas is the grandson.
Okay, yes. Carlos was not listed on the tape as a member of the squad.
No. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought you were talking about Thomas there. Carlos was listed as inactive. Thomas was not listed as a member of the squad.
Oh.
My apologies.
Carlos listed as... Okay.
My apologies. My misunderstanding there.
That was what I was wanting to confirm.
Alright, and yeah, I'll follow the instructions. I'm assuming it's already in my Pip-Boy.
It was in your Pip-Boy while the recording was going. Now the recording has stopped. According to that message, it is still emitting that frequency.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it in my Pip-Boy then.
All right. Thank God you actually listened to that thing. There was going to be so much shit you were locked out of if you didn't put that in.
I had to find a time to listen to it when Thomas wasn't around.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
No offense, Jacob.
None taken. Again, you're the one who's built like the sneaky bastard. I'll be honest, we're actually complete polar opposites of the character ideas we've got. My character is supposed to be the Enclave agent, supposed to be a little bit secretive, but he's at a point where it's like, this world is fucked. Why keep too many secrets? Okay, parse the deep secrets. And let the people think the rumors. Okay. Whereas your character is a soldier, but he is built like a spy, and he is doing spy stuff.
He was really into all those spy magazines when he was when he had off time at base.
It also fits with what I used as the base of my class, which was Night Stalker.
That is
There
true.
you go. So yeah.
Meanwhile, clonk, 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 clonk.
Yeah, one of these days, we're gonna have to teach you two how to stealth.
You don't need to teach NPR how to stealth. You just need to get like really big cushions for his feet.
Or a stealth boy.
Gotta find some moon shoes.
I just got the image in my brain now. He's just like, okay, NPR, come on, we're sneaking, and you turn around, he's like moonwalking.
At which point,
Holding
yeah,
the fedora down over his head.
I'm gonna go rejoin with Thomas and NPR.
Well,
Okay.
actually, probably by the time you're coming to join, Thomas is heading up to the front door to make sure that it's secure.
So then,
Yeah, you would kind of run into him in the middle of the hallway, basically.
Yep.
And
Fine.
NPR will come out as well. How do you see NPR's nice new suit?
Oh, hang on. Let's do this the right way. All right, so Axel, as you're stepping out of the room, first thing you see is Thomas Diego, almost halfway to you from where the armory was.
Okay.
Um, and at that moment, you see something a little bit odd. You see what at first looks like a guy in a pinstripe suit and a fedora walking out of the armory right behind Diego. There is a little bit of a roboticness to his movements, but it's enough to get you to pause for a moment to try to look really hard at what you will eventually realize, so that you don't accidentally shoot MPR-07, is indeed Door.
Yeah, I'll like half raise my weapon, like squint again. Yeah, no, fuck it. All right.
I know. And Diego's just gonna stop. Go. Yeah, that was my first instinct too.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna. Nope. Okay. Sure. Should we secure the building?
That's what I was about to head to the front door to do. Just make sure we can lock it up before we go down underneath.
That does seem like a wise course of action.
All right. There is plenty of resources available to you, both metal and wood, chairs, tables, fallen beams and whatnot that you guys
Cool.
can use.
Cool. The first thing I'm gonna do, can I just lock the doors?
You could, although in one of the doors, the door handle itself has fallen off,
Oh, okay.
just due to time and erosion.
Yeah, no, that was
The
my
other
first thing. I
one-
was just like, can I just see if the door's locked still?
The other one, you do have a lock on it. You do turn the lock. However, you do notice that although the locking mechanism spins, you can feel the tumblers don't seem to be catching quite right.
Alright. Well, looks like we're gonna have to barricade the doors. The lock on this one ain't working. The door handle is missing on the other.
That's fun. Well, let's get to it then.
Are the
All right.
tables over here metal?
Those ones would be a thin metal, but yes.
Alright, would they, I don't know how the construction on them is, would be able to, like, knock the legs off and, like, weld a few of them together to make, like, one solid sheet to slide in front of the two doors? As like a base for the barricade?
All right. So does anybody have a energy weapon?
I
Not
have
a plasma weapon. Plasma weapon sadly won't work.
Mm-hmm.
I have a laser gun and a defibrillator.
I have a laser musket and
I have
a laser musket and a laser gun.
and I have a recharger rifle.
All right.
We have a handful of laser weapons.
Okay, so you would be able to use the laser weapons to, yes, do some welding, as well as kind of just cut the legs off for... some of the tables are indeed bolted to the ground, whilst others are just those forked out leg type tables that you'd just be able to pick up and move around. You guys would need to roll a repair, and let's see here. It normally would be repair and intelligence, but I'll also give you the option of we'll go with perception or even strength. Actually, I'd say for constructing this barricade.
I can do repair intelligence easy. It's a 9 and 4,
All right.
I will assist with...
and it's tagged.
You said perception and what?
And repair.
I might as well see if I can
I think-
help out.
All right. Rolling the two for intelligence repair.
I'll roll, what were the skill options? Just repair?
Just repair.
All right, I'll roll
Oh,
the.
jeez.
What the hell?
Come on, Thomas.
Dang. Alright, 2 successes between us all.
All right, I'll count that. That is more than enough, really. You guys get the base for the barricade welded together. You're more than satisfied with it, honestly. It does feel good and sturdy. You managed to get it dragged over to the entrance itself, set it up in a satisfactory manner. And are you going to add any more to the barricade?
I mean, I'd say probably we could just come down here. Any of the beds that aren't like bolted to the floor, we can just carry the beds out and set like 3 or 4 beds up against it.
I agree with that.
And again, that'll be a repair and intelligence, or I'll go with perception and or strength.
To carry the the beds.
No, this is more so for. Oh my God, Thomas!
What the crap?
What the fuck? We found the true villain of the campaign. It's roll 20. It's roll 20, not knowing that there are other sides to a dice.
Silent, your boon, or in this case, curse, is passed to me.
I got a 1.
And you took my boon!
I'm allowed good dice rolls sometimes. In this campaign.
Oh.
You're allowed good dice rolls outside of combat sometimes.
Yes.
So, before Thomas rolled that, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'm sorry, Thomas,
he just pulls out like a grenade, just nukes the fucking barricade, draws all the zombies in the base.
Sorry, Thomas. Don't worry, I won't kill your character. But...
No, you're just gonna slightly singe him.
Something along those lines, at least. I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do for that.
Double complication.
He stubs his toe twice trying to carry the beds.
Oh my gosh.
Like you hold the gun too close to the tables you're trying to weld it, and like gets metal clogging up the front end of it. Now you have to clean it out before you can use it again.
This wasn't even for that. We already passed that. This was just for moving the beds.
This was honestly a little bit more so of, again, building up the barricade a little bit more as well.
But we were just carrying beds over.
Yes, but you guys aren't just gonna throw beds onto your barricade haphazardly, I'm assuming.
That was the plan.
Oh, it was.
It was just like take beds, carry beds, put beds in front, like behind sheet.
Okay, well.
We're all carrying these beds, and Diego just trips and like smashes through one. It's like, oh crap! So he grabs another one and does the same thing again. Freaking the heck, roll 20.
I'm just here. I'm just here, waiting for my punishment.
Alright.
Please stop, Taylor.
It's easy enough. Axel, especially for you, dragging plenty of these bed frames over to the door, kind of tossing them up somewhat haphazardly due to your successes and what I was thinking you were doing. You actually do manage to get a fairly stable pileup of these beds braced against the doors, adding to your barricade even more so. Thomas. Alas, Thomas, I knew you well. Oh my God! No, it's not that bad.
He bumps into something with the bed and no clips into the back rooms. Bye.
Okay, so
there's a Moffat there waiting for him.
The way that I am doing this, however, is Thomas. While trying to drag out some of these beds, you have a bit of rotten luck. As you go to grab one particular bed and just give it a tug, as you've seen Axel do a few times now. And as you give it a tug, it catches you off guard as the bed gives you strangely more resistance than you were expecting, and you have to really give it a good solid tug. However, at the second tug, the bed gives with no resistance whatsoever.
Oh, what the fuck?
You stumble back. The bed flips over and comes crashing down right onto your torso with a surprising amount of force. You're going to be taking, I rolled for this, 3 damage to the torso. That is going to also, however, whatever physical damage resistance you are wearing, you do take that into account as well.
So it's one. My physical damage rating for my torso is 2.
Okay, so you take 1 point of actual damage then. And that is the bed slamming onto your chest. Sorry, burp. Ooh, wow, where'd that come from? Your chest plate with such force that you swear you hear something crack. And the wind gets knocked out of you for a second or two. You're trying to catch your breath.
He's cussing in Spanish at the end of this.
That is the worst of it. I don't want to...
Does NPR have a Spanish language module?
I thought you did have a couple of different languages to your character, didn't you?
Is that listed somewhere on the sheet?
I thought that was a special thing for your character. Hang on a minute here.
No, but it would make sense with intelligence and the fact that, a military base may involve people with one of the major languages in the U.S.
What was your class you took?
For the... I don't remember. The combat medic?
Okay, hang on. Okay, pararescue would have been most likely it. Blah, 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 blah. Not really. I know there was one that was specifically... Oh, yes, there it is. There was
military
one
linguist.
Yes. I would suppose that, yes, you would have a basic understanding of Spanish, Mexican, at the very least. Being a fairly prominent language in the U.S., even in Fallout times.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna have to correct you there. There is no real distinction of Spanish between nationality. It is all spoken the same. It's just the cadence in which it's said. Okay. And yes, he is
actually
going
there's a lot
mile.
of...
He's going Cuban at this moment. A mile a minute, or not Cuban?
I was gonna say
Puerto Rican. Mile a minute.
There's a lot of minor linguistic quirks, idioms, and differences between regions anywhere.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But there's words that mean one thing in Latin America and would mean something entirely different in Spain, because the word literally means one thing, but people are using it a different way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But in this case, no, he is going like a Puerto Rican. He is going a mile a minute. Mile a minute, a word a second.
All right. So, but yes, you would have some basic understanding of what Thomas is saying.
Cool. I'm going to assume that this happening right after I hear a large crash is not a good sign, and go see if I can help him.
I can
What?
English too.
Oh, mother.
You okay back there?
Medical assistance, Mr. Diego.
I'm fine.
And NPR goes up to him and, holds up one of his hands, a little flashlight comes on and shines at his eyes. Suspect with the NPR suspects with the complete loss of the grasp on Spanish that he suffered a concussion of some sort.
No. You speak Spanish.
Diego's just gonna look at NPR like he's a freaking idiot. Like, do I look like I got a concussion, Doc?
What's the verdict, NPR? Did he get a concussion?
He does not appear to have suffered a concussion.
Nah, damn bed flipped on me and hit me in the chest.
Oh, that sucks.
Tell me about it.
Okay, how good is my medical sensor, right? Can I, like, see broken bones in people?
Technically speaking, we would have to roll for it. However, in this particular case, no, there is no broken bones with Thomas.
I have like recon sensors and a diagnostic array.
Yes. You normally you'd still have to roll for it. Just be a really easy roll for you. But it's pretty easy to tell that basically he just had the wind knocked out of him. Any cracking sound he may have heard was possibly just like some sort of cartilage or something like that, or just the breastplate that he was wearing just flexing a little bit more than usual or something to that extent.
On cursory examination, it appears that he will suffer some bruising, but otherwise will be fine.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you have to like act like your character would be indignant, but NPR is literally just trying to help. He's like, oh no, a person got hurt. I better go help. Your like, leave me alone. I don't want anyone to know about this.
It's embarrassing, okay? But yes, Axel, you are very comfortable and confident with your very nice barricade you have built up right now. You've also have indeed kept in mind that you might need to leave out this door, so you've made it so that it would still be fairly easy for people on this side to tear it down to get out if necessary.
All right.
Here we go.
And with that, is it safe to presume that you guys are ready to head downstairs?
By the way, I have put it together what he was yelling.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go down. Yeah, I think we're ready to go downstairs.
Goddamn son of a bitch bed trying to kill me like a fucking mimic.
All right. Let me see here. I have. Okay. We'll have a little bit of fun with this, I think. So yes, I will leave this mostly covered. I'm on the right one. All right, bringing you guys over here. Because we've had issues with this, I'm just gonna have you guys drag your tokens. You will be basically over here or just in front. You can place either place. It doesn't really matter. Okay.
When we come down, do we see the place where we have to enter the key?
It was not so much a key as it was more so, again, very similar to the holocron you guys have, a passcode real quickly that you guys type into the elevator switch, which I was getting to in just a moment.
Oh, I was gonna specifically ask, before we type it in, I'm gonna try to activate the elevator.
Just push the button?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me describe it a little bit for you. As I'm assuming you all are in the elevator at this point, correct? Or are you doing this before everybody else gets there, Axel?
No, I'm waiting for everyone to get in, and then I'm gonna try to just see if the elevator will go, but without us having to enter the security code.
Okay. So as you all pile into this fairly small yet just big enough for the three, well, actually would have been probably big enough for four of you. Axel takes a moment, observes the console toggle switches, as well as the keypad just above it. Taking a quick moment, taking everything in, you then push the down button as the doors have closed. However, then a light flashes on the keypad. Error. Please enter in OPL code.
Okay, so this is not one of the things that is bypassed.
Yes, this still does require a passcode for you to enter.
Alright, yeah, then I'll just punch in the passcode and go.
All right. As you guys feel the elevator going down, surprisingly, actually, you guys feel a little light for it. Well, I should clarify. Thomas and Axel, you guys feel a little light for a second. As you can feel this elevator just drop very, very quickly. As, like I said, you guys almost float for only half a second or two as it stops very suddenly, and you all kind of have to, including NPR, have to catch your balance for a moment. The doors open up, bing, whoosh, open up for you as you guys see a nice long hallway in front of you. Lights start flickering on fairly quickly as the elevator doors open up. As a voice comes on, "Welcome to Level 7 of Area 51. Wait, 7? What the fuck did I say 7 for?
I don't know.
1!
Why did you say 7?
I have no idea what the fuck I said that for. Level 1 of Area 51. Current location, Operation Long Road, Command Center for Area 51.
Alright. Well,
Oh, this place is interesting.
As you guys take a moment to kind of take in your surroundings, maybe slowly start coming out, you do all of a sudden hear a ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk coming from up ahead of you. As out of one particular room walks a military protectron.
Okay.
It turns and notices the three of you, and slowly does start walking towards you all.
We
Thunk,
are
ka-thunk.
family.
Oh boy.
Ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk.
Given my knowledge of, well,
Is it powering
protectrons,
Is it powering weapons at all?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
is it acting like, is it moving to engage, or is it just investigating or just moving?
Difficult to say for absolute certainty. However, in this particular case, let's see here. You guys kind of have options here. We'll go with either perception or intelligence. And your choice basically of survival, science, and we'll go with either energy weapons or big guns, small guns, whatever you guys fancy, really. You guys
Okay.
can kind of pick and choose here as you're trying to see what kind of hostilities this thing may have towards you.
Speech. No, I'm just kidding.
Science, and I'll do science intelligence.
Yeah,
I'll do energy weapons intelligence.
Okay.
as my character is stepping out of the elevator and this thing is walking down to us, I'm gonna kind of look at it, look it over. This is Sergeant Axel Cooper, Lieutenant NPR. We're here on orders from General Kelly.
All right. With all of your guys' successes, and Thomas, holy cow, made up for that double 20. You're all able to tell that this is obviously not with hostile intent. It is certainly not moving in any manner that would indicate that it has any hostile intent or malice intent towards you, and that this is clearly what you guys would maybe even describe as a butler-type program, almost, with the way he's approaching you and everything. As he comes a little bit closer, "Greetings, Sergeant Axel Cooper. Greetings, MPRO7. Alert, alert. Unauthorized personnel detected. Please advise."
He's with us.
"Subject, please state name."
Give me half a tick. I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull up some quick information. Where's there? Agent Thomas G. Diego. Enclave,
I can Spanglish.
Enclaves, enclave.
Hold on.
Is that an official word?
Army attaché of the Enclave. Here as consultant.
Understood. One moment. Agent Thomas Diego. As from seemingly nowhere, this robot, this Protectron, pulls out a book from behind himself, holds it out towards you. Left hand on Bible, raise right hand.
I know that. I was warned of this one. Diego does so.
And he basically swears you in as a private. As I do not remember what the protocols are. However, apparently, whatever this Protectron is, he does have the authority to swear in soldiers. Welcome to Operation Long Road. Sergeant Axel Cooper, Lieutenant MPR07. Welcome back. This facility has been designated to be used as command center for purposes of reclaiming all of America. You may desire to acquaint yourselves with the facility. Please, however, follow me for briefing and debriefing.
Of note, this is also the
red flag moment.
The ranks are different than what we're told to Thomas when you met us, and this is the first time NPR would have been referred to as a lieutenant, or would have heard Axel referred to as sergeant.
What's the likelihood that it just updated? Like, I got near the base and it was like, ping. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention it, but I do.
You would be fully unaware of any updates. Your systems certainly did not register that. However, actually, you know what?
Would it be fair to assume that I would probably reason that there is some kind of field promotion involved?
It would be, however, there would be something else. Being that you are actually military equipment, give me a quick science and intelligence.
I was gonna say, it would also be the fact that you would have both heard Axel introduce us as such before being told.
That is true as well.
So clearly, Axel would have clearly knew something had happened.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's certainly a manner of, NPR. Something's a little bit off because Axel knew it before you did. However, at the same time, weirdly, as you kind of quickly jot back and say, wait a second, I'm not a lieutenant. As you quickly look back through your memory banks and suddenly go, yes, I'm a lieutenant. I've been a lieutenant for, wait a minute.
150 years.
I've been a lieutenant for... Wait, something's wrong here. My records say that I was inactive, but that I was lieutenant before I... And you get a little bit of an error code that's starting to pop up here. Your one success protects you from certain things. However, unfortunately, the error code is because it was only a one success. You need a little bit higher to have an idea as to what possibly is going on here. But
yeah, I noticed there's a disparity, but
programming has been changed. You are indeed a lieutenant and have been for 150 or so years.
Meanwhile, Diego's going to look at Axel and go, "Field promotion you forget to mention?"
Something like that.
Uh-huh.
As the Protectron has started moving forward, stops, turns around, just on his torso, not with his legs.
Effects of cryosleep. Memory's still a bit fuzzy.
Again,
Diego's gonna just raise an eyebrow and then just start following the Protectron.
please follow.
NPR
forward.
is going to not have eyebrows and follow the Protectron.
Axel's just gonna follow the Protectron.
You're not going to have eyebrows? Or not have eyebrows?
I will neither conform nor deny the existence of eyebrows.
Alrighty, so as the Protectron moves up further, it's a bit of a slow walk. It is a Protectron after all. Hang on just a second here as I try to clear out some of it.
as we walk forward, are these doors closed? Are they open? What's inside?
Most of them are indeed closed. I'm gonna go ahead and reveal. Whoop! What happened there? Come on, you. Don't be like that, jerk. Most of them are closed, and actually, I will go ahead because this one here would have opened. You can see into the room
billiards room
that is over here, as that is the room that the Protectron came out of, and the door is actually still open at the moment.
Clearly, the Protectron was in the middle of a game of pool.
No, we knew that there was a gym on base, but we vastly misunderstood what they meant when they said there was an indoor pool.
I like it.
Wow.
Jacob's just
All
like,
right.
I want to leave now.
The Protectron continues on down another hallway on your guys' left, a little bit further along, until he comes basically to the end of the hallway, and will indeed be entering into a room. Did I clean up enough? I hope I cleaned up enough. He then takes up position behind the table and directs all of you, please take a seat.
NPR is going to sit down instead of taking a seat, as picking up a chair would be needlessly obtuse.
He might also break the chair.
Oh wait, are we missing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're missing Jacob.
Thomas, get over there.
And we assume he followed us.
Yes. I'm just stealing Thomas.
It's all good.
All right. As you all take your seats, the Protectron waits for a single moment, and then finally, once you've all settled in,
Shoots all of us.
all rise, stand at attention, officer on deck. As the Protectron does a little shuffle with his legs and raise his arm into a salute, at least as much as he can for a Protectron.
Looks an awful lot like a hail.
To some extent, yes. He bends it, but not quite reaching the top of his dome, if you will. I'm assuming the rest of you will stand at attention?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, you guys hear again the click-click of a tape recorder as the Protectron then lowers its arms, puts them behind it, and starts to pace back and forth all along this wall here while seeming to address you in, well, a new voice.
Alright, let me open up my notes page. This is the debriefing?
Yes.
Man, I know that the robotics are more advanced than in real life 50s, but for a tape player to be an officer, man.
Alright.
At ease, everybody. You may take your seats. This is General Kelly once again. Although I cannot be here in person, I would like to welcome you all and congratulate you all for making it this far. I have no idea the horrors that you all might have faced in making it to this point. However, congratulations, and now it is time to begin with the true intent of Operation Long Road. And so that I don't hurt my throat, I'm going to give you guys the basic broad strokes of what is said here.
Welcome to voice acting.
Yes. Again, it would kind of kill my voice if I did it all. So, the long and the short of it, if you will, is that the voice of General Kelly is happy to see so many who have made it here, and that this facility is indeed intended to be a base of operations for its inhabitants to use, in essence, as they see fit. However, there are a few things. In spite of the need for personnel to explore and get used to their surroundings in this new facility, a few first details is that there is, and I'm going to go ahead and start revealing, well, heck, that will reveal most everything at this point, really. Oh, fudge you.
Yup.
That there is, first of all, a command center, specifically in this facility. Here, I'll try
If you want us to remember these things, it's probably best to put some text labeling things out there so that we can
I
see what certain rooms are.
trouble with the texting thing. Where the hell is that actually?
If you go to the freehand draw, text is an option in there.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Okay. Oh, and silence beating me to it. All right, thanks.
Hold on. Actually, this I think might work better. Bup,
Why can't
And-
I adjust that?
bup, and
Text.
shaboom.
Ah, in white, yes.
And if you really want to make it so that we can't accidentally do anything with that, you can set it right to the map layer.
Blah. All right, do that there. That
Huzzah.
there is indeed a command center where once power is fully restored, you guys will actually be able to monitor all forces that are a part of Operation Long Road, no matter how far they might be from the facility. There are sleeping accommodations, of course, that are down over in this direction here.
That is
More
too
than
many
enough for-
beds.
A full platoon. Those are also double bunk beds.
That is far too many beds.
This was supposed to be able to hold more than 50 soldiers.
Well, there's 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Facility also comes, of course, with a cafeteria, place for all personnel to get some food, have some relaxation. There are a handful of actual recreational facilities as well. I'm not going to reveal. Well, actually, hell with it. We'll just go ahead and reveal.
You can just turn off the fog of war. I mean,
Can I just turn off the fog of war? Wait.
yeah, you'd have to go to the page settings and the maps tab, like thing at the top.
Oh.
You have to go for the settings for this.
This
Oh wait, I don't want to reveal.
page.
You know what? Here, let's do it this way because there are a few things I don't want to reveal. But
Okay.
then reveal. Okay, there. Yeah, taking too long to do that, really. So there are recreational facilities. There are showers and restrooms. There are armories and there are office rooms for, well, officers. There is also another thing. There is supposed to be a hangar for army personnel to store as well as work on and repair any vehicles they might acquire during their operations here. Once the debrief of the facility has concluded, he then changes topics for you all to the purposes, or your goals, if you will, that he has been setting forward.
Does he mention how to get a vehicle into the hangar?
He does not at this moment, though there might be a certain somebody that you can inquire of later for certain details.
Okay.
I've already got noted that to do.
We're good on labels so far?
Yes. That works well enough.
Yep.
As he switches topics to objectives. Primary objective is reclaiming of the U.S. in its entirety. In order to do this, it may require allies, recruitments, and so on, which is the main reason for such a large facility.
And taking
with
back
such
Hawaii is going to be a bitch.
Oh, hey, don't forget Alaska.
At least there's a land access.
However, a part of this is, the general will also say, is to not rush in without knowing your enemy or your surroundings. So one big thing that he stresses is it'll be necessary for the members of Operation Long Road to acquire intel of their surroundings, as well as possible already existing factions. Even though it has been 50 years, there is no telling how degraded the world has become if factions, organizations, and the like survived, or new ones have arisen through the ashes of the now old world. But this is an order for your team to indeed scout out, as well as eventually reclaim all of America.
3 of us. Yup.
Like I said, there is the portion of finding allies and recruiting more soldiers as well. He would end it, I guess, also with that the Protectron in front of you should be recognized as his attaché, and should be viewed with all the respect as you would General Kelly himself. Any questions, comments, or concerns can indeed be brought directly to the Protectron, however.
So the Protectron is the acting commander.
The Protectron is weirdly enough going to start being referred to as General Kelly. Or at least he himself will be.
More of a liaison than a commander. Of course,
Yeah.
if you're a liaison for someone dead and you're a robot, there's not a lot of room for, maneuvering.
Yeah. It is a bit of an awkward last comment, being that you're pretty sure General Kelly is dead by now. But that was his final orders. Do with that as you will.
So I have, I think, a lot of questions. Let's start with logistics. Is there food in the mess hall? And are there facilities with running water, electricity, and the like for preparation of said food?
I'm going, given that my characters lived in the vault, and the sword, this is very vault-like.
Yeah, it's probably got like a nuclear reactor power source underneath it or something.
Yep.
All
And
right, so the robot is going to be a bit of a monkey's paw, as he is going to answer questions as directly as possible. Hopefully I will not get drawn off onto tangents while trying to do this. This facility does indeed have running water. As far as how you choose to use running water, that is up to you.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume we don't have actual, cooking staff on hand.
That would be correct. The 3 of you are currently the only inhabitants, excluding myself.
All right. Also, I should note, me asking these is me asking you, the DM, not NPR asking the robot.
Oh.
I assume this can be answered either through the robot telling me these things or just describing me exploring them, because
kind of a question and answer session. So for right now, direct the questions to the robot.
all right. Well, if you insist.
Are there any other robotic units active in this facility?
I am currently unaware of any active robots in this facility besides myself and MPRO7.
How would we get vehicle to the motor pool?
Accessing the command console outside of the motor pool will be necessary. A rank of lieutenant or higher is required for access.
Well, apparently that's gonna rule me out bringing the truck in and out.
If you two are content to ask questions here, would it be acceptable for me to obtain our spoils from the armory upstairs and catalog the contents of the armory here?
I think that'd probably be a good idea. Is there anything in the armory currently down here?
Dan, quick, come up with the 500 items.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I have not been keeping up to date with inventory of armory.
I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of equipment that's just like degraded over time.
Possibly.
Very,
Because-
very possible.
Yeah, like, sure, it's in an underground bunker that is ostensibly pretty well regulated, but at the same time, it's like 200 years. The water in the air will cause gunpowder to go bad, that sort of thing.
Yeah, possibly. Though I don't forget though there is, still functioning ammo out there in the Fallout world, so
Yeah.
their ammo is more durable than ours, I guess.
Well, it's ammo, at least as we know it, is a bullet with a casing, is an enclosed unit, which means that it's going to be much more difficult for the gunpowder to spoil, but also probably most manufacturers don't expect somebody to store bullets for like 200 years. So
yes, that is definitely a thing to consider.
kind of a back and forth there.
Yes.
But at the very least, there should be something useful there. Yeah, okay, NPR is going to go grab the stuff from the armory upstairs, bring it to the armory down here, as this is, at least for the foreseeable future, absolutely the best thing that's happened to us.
How many of the Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and we'll figure out like the items from the armory later. Or if you want to do it right now. But at the same time,
we'll have to postpone the armory as well as the cafeteria for mess hall. Sorry, for a little bit later, depending upon other questions people might have.
right.
Then I'll go over the stock and inventory that you guys can find here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to put it like either the end of the session after recording or
Yeah.
between sessions, so that we can make sure we've got like just a good grasp on what we have. Even if you just like make a document, write everything down, and be like, okay, here's what you have.
Yeah, I could certainly do that.
Back
Are you guys? Yeah. What are you guys doing while NPR is moving
I
supplies?
still have more questions.
Oh, I actually have a couple of very good questions, actually.
How
Right.
how many of the other rockets made it up?
I am unaware of the exact number of rockets that made it up. However, at least 24 personnel from Operation Long Road have come through this facility.
2,000.
24.
2,000.
Dozen. I did say dozen. I'm sure. I
Yes,
said
he did say doesn't.
He did
In
say
spite of
doesn't.
that, that's actually a very like they've been through this facility previously after the rockets launched.
How long ago since the last group came through?
that would be approximately 47 years ago.
Did they have any additional personnel like myself that you had to swear in?
Negative. I believe you are the first new recruit to Operation Long Road.
Did any of them identify themselves as an Enclave agent as I have?
That would be a negative. There have not been any other Enclave personnel that have come through this facility.
You mentioned we'd be able to use the command center to locate other members.
The command center, the command center should be able to update us on other members of Operation Long Road. However, there is a problem. The command center is currently not powered. Restarting the atomic reactors throughout the facility will be required in order to reactivate the command center.
Yeah,
We had someone immune to radiation.
How many reactors are we gonna have to get back up and running?
At least 2. You will also not be able to activate the motor pool until these facilities have been reactivated.
That might have been something we would have needed to know before NPR wandered off.
Speaking of which, NPR comes back.
Are the
after hauling this stuff down?
Are the reactors down here, or are they out elsewhere in the base?
Reactors are elsewhere in the base.
Do we
Any
own...
chance?
I can provide coordinates. Unfortunately, my programming requires that I remain in this facility.
Yeah, I think those coordinates would be helpful. Are there just the 2, or are there others that we'd be able to save for a rainy day in case something went wrong, so to speak?
If I remember correctly, that's the GM more so than anything. Hey, hang on just a second here, because I did try to do this, but I need to remember. That is the wrong one. Hang on a second here. I'm looking through some of my maps. Give me a minute.
Oh,
wait.
good.
Okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay, there was those there.
Well, he's looking through those. I feel like our first order of business is going to be to get the base up and running and probably secured.
Okay, I believe it is actually. Yeah. All right. That is negative. Those 2 reactors are the only ones that would be required to be reactivated.
Well,
Most of Area 51 should be powered on at that time.
But how many reactors are there total?
Again, just the 2.
Okay, so there's not like any backup power anywhere on the military installation. If anything happened to the 2 reactors, the base just shuts down.
The first reactor is primary. The second reactor is secondary. However, due to an unknown error, both are needed to be jump-started.
How much you want to bet it's probably due to the ghouls and possible scavengers that have ransacked some of this up top.
Well, that'd be the best guess. Are there any base defenses that would come online that we'd be able to use to secure the base in our absence?
Although there were a number of automated defenses throughout Area 51, I have been disconnected from all systems for too long. I am currently unaware as to their status.
Does this facility include medical areas, tools, and supplies?
Ah, shit. I forgot to set that one up. Yeah, as the GM, it's this one here.
Okay, cool. I expect that to be a little less barren, hopefully, in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. I completely forgot about that.
Yes,
I'm playing a
NPR.
medic.
NPR, there's a big room for you to use.
Yeah, that is supposed to have like cots and tables and operation desks and whatnot, all that kind of fun stuff. I don't know how the hell I forgot to do all of that. As
So,
I'm looking at it, going, "What the hell?"
what we've got our current objective figured out. Get the
we go.
generators back up and running. Reconnect the general here to systems so that he can verify anything else we might need to repair, and get the motorcade opened up.
I should maybe clarify one more thing.
I think as an additional, before he clarifies an additional thing, would be we're gonna need to clear out the base of anything else that's in here. I think
Yeah.
this is gonna be our best bet as a base of operations moving forward.
I agree with that. As you're saying, General.
Although the general has the primary objectives of Operation Long Road, each of your squads also has secondary objectives. They would have been distributed to your commanding officers in the form of holotapes.
Unfortunately, our commanding officer didn't make it through the fight.
I believe one of you might already have this holotape. Systems have been registered to acknowledge your promotions.
What about that holotape that you had when you landed? When I found you at that wrecked site, there was the one that was already inside my grandfather's Pip-Boy that you've got on there now, and the other that we found in the wreckage.
Yeah, well, if that's the one, then yeah, no, I have that in my Pip-Boy right now.
Please bear in mind, these secondary objectives are just as important as your primary objective.
What was this secondary objective?
Going through my notes right now.
I think it was to find out who
Well, yeah,
attacked the base.
No. He gets to choose what he gets to tell you guys.
General, once we are able to reestablish communications, do we have protocol in place for extricating other soldiers to this location or establishing increased communications?
Unfortunately, that has been left up to your discretion.
Give me 1 second while I answer Jacob's question here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I mean, the holotape had information on our squad, our promotions, as well as orders to go and try to figure out where the missiles launched from. We got information about missile defense site and early detection warning facility in California. Another one out in Boston that was supposed to investigate. As well as taking a look at early detection systems at if they're still standing. Vault-Tec headquarters in DC and Boston area.
Boston is gonna be a little difficult to get to. DC equally so. That's all the way across the other side of the states.
Yeah, I think our best bet would be to start with securing this location and then
Yeah.
getting over to Cali.
Alright.
I know the message we received also was wanting us to find any listening sites that might have picked up on additional information regarding the missile launches.
Well,
Poke, Jacob, poke.
well, that'd be one of the original reasons I was out here to begin with, was to try and get some of the communications equipment on the Enclave side repaired up to communicate. After all, we lost contact with each other when the missiles came down, and we haven't heard a peep from any of the other of the vaults or bases around. So that would definitely be a side task we would need to take care of just going forward from there. General, I do have a couple quick questions. Is this facility aware of the changes throughout the U.S. since the bombs have fallen?
I'm afraid I have limited access to external readings.
I was
What
born.
what other information did the squads that came through before us come across?
Stand by. All right, that's going to be a bit of a tough one. So,
So yeah, we'll let Jacob's question go first while Dan figures out the answer to that.
Jacob's gotta take off for a minute. So,
No, I'm
Oh.
I'm taking a moment real quick. As a matter of fact, I'd like to ask for a 5-minute bio break.
okay,
All right.
all right. So
Absolutely nothing nefarious happened
Nothing.
off mic. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Anyone listening to this in the future probably shouldn't report us to the FBI, but you know, you do you.
So for you, Axel, General Kelly turns to you and basically starts pouring out all of these different observations that many different soldiers report to him, and he keeps on giving like Corporal Corporal James gave this report. Sergeant Daniel had this to say. Things like that. He always starts all this information with one of these soldiers identifying the soldier that told him the information.
Okay.
And that the basic broad strokes is the world outside has indeed changed quite dramatically, even for the time period where the soldiers had finally packed up and left. There were already other factions that had been forming. A couple of the big names that General Kelly would mention to you are Raiders, which are less a faction of himself and more just an anachronistic group all over the country. They
Dan.
are incredibly hostile and should be treated with the utmost concern.
Okay.
And all over the country?
Any kind of information like about them, or just
They're doing good for a football team in the post-apocalypse.
What,
That's
the
actually
Raiders?
just-
Oh gosh, dang it! Oh, I got it.
Yeah, okay. I got it. I'm just choosing to ignore Taylor right
I'm
now
sorry.
because I'm asking for
It took me a
information.
second to figure out where he was going with that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
To be honest, though,
Because this is information that I as a player also need because I know nothing about Fallout.
Yes, so this is actually, I guess, a good opportunity to actually get Silent up to speed more so on the Fallout world, to an extent at least. So there are plenty of raider tribes, almost more so, all throughout the country. They function in a tribal but still anarchistic state. What the heck is the terminology there? Might makes right is the only law they know.
They don't really have elected officials. They have war leaders.
Right. That is basically all there is to them. They kill, rape, and murder, steal, whatever suits their fancy. They usually cannot be reasoned with, although there have been extreme circumstances.
There's a lot of them that are just plain frickin' insane.
Yes. In general, shoot to kill is the takeaway from any Raider faction. General description is very Mad Maxy designs as far as what they wear and what they use for weaponry. Some of them do use guns, although the more higher end military weapons are very uncommon on them, though not unseen. Apparently, there's been reports of certain really, really powerful Raider bosses even having power armor. Something to bear in mind there. And it has been noted that some of them have indeed managed to make use of certain vehicles and to use them jury-rig style in different combat situations. The next thing that would that he would tell you about would be all the mutations and monsters that now lurk throughout pretty much all of the U.S. The most dangerous being the Deathclaw, a large reptilian bipedal creature with, as the name would possibly imply, extremely long, large claws. And I got a picture here for you to give you a basic concept of what they look like. Very dangerous, very tough. It'll take a squad or more sometimes to bring down these things, depending upon the weaponry. And,
They're like a mini Godzilla gorilla.
Yes, that they have. There are a variety of other mutations, giant scorpions, ghouls, weird crustacean crab-like creatures all over the place. There are dangerous ghouls, some of them just mindless zombies, others completely sentient still, that can possibly be reasoned with depending upon the situation. There are dangerous robots scattered throughout the wasteland. Some of them old military, but their program has just so degraded that they wouldn't even recognize other military officers.
Can't just spell.
And would possibly just shoot anybody and everybody on sight. Oh, there's another creature. Mole rats are a very common sight. Although aggressive, they are not necessarily the most dangerous, actually. They are about dog size, really. Wild dogs and whatnot, all throughout the area.
Giant bears called Yaguai.
Giant bears, Yaguais. Super mutants have managed to spread out throughout the entire U.S. Originally thought to only be on the West Coast, but have now been reported throughout.
Does it give any information on what they are?
Super mutants, orcs. Giant green, what used to be humans, but got infected with an FEV virus that gave them super strength. They're not necessarily stupid, though their intelligence is somewhat lacking in some cases. But they're smart enough to actually even craft their own equipment in some cases. Armor, weapons, that kind of stuff.
And again, they're depending on the sect of super mutant and the strain of FEV, most can be tribal and very primitive. And on a rare occasion, you can find an intelligent super mutant who is peaceful and willing to do trade and barter.
Yes. The takeaway would be that it is not recommended to approach these without extreme caution, and it is actually for you guys, he would probably say there has not yet been a successful report of non-hostile interaction with super mutants, though a bit of a takeaway would be the possibility does exist. I would say that most likely another big faction that would exist by this point, actually, you know what? These both would still exist. Okay, all three. The first one would be one of the most popular factions, actually, in all of Fallout, is the Brotherhood of Steel. which claims to have been part of the old U.S. military before the Old World, but broke off and now seems to be dedicated solely to the acquiring and stowing away of any and all pre-war technologies.
Their goal is to reclaim pre-war tech.
Yes. There have been successful peaceful interactions with them. However, there have also been hostile interactions with the Brotherhood of Steel when the Brotherhood of Steel tells certain members of Operation Long Road to hand over their laser rifle, or somebody else who might have power armor even to hand that over. And of course, the U.S. Army is going to go, no. And fighting broke out.
The entire credo of the Brotherhood of Steel is to avoid the tragedy that led to this in the first place, which is why they're taking the technology and stowing it away.
Yes, they're the only ones who believe themselves able to use this technology safely, and even to an extent, they don't necessarily trust themselves with certain pieces of technology. But they're very selective about what they feel they could handle safely and not.
Another thing is that there are some factions of the Brotherhood. You'll find ideologies kind of disparate between the West and the East.
Is this information that I would be getting from the Protectron?
This particular information would probably be not so much, though there might be a little bit of implied as to there are separate pockets of these Brotherhood of Steels, and therefore, hypothetically, there might be some deviation with their creeds, if you will.
Okay,
But I think,
give me a second.
But I think that would be where we would leave that at technically for your character.
By the way, I would like to say is that any missing information that my character might know, he will chime in to give an update for that specific topic.
Fair point.
Okay.
That is a fair point, actually. Yes. So
that is
yeah.
that is fair.
Yeah. I did not consider that. Thank you. So yes.
I didn't consider that either.
Yeah, he can fill in those missing spots.
Your character can actually fill
legit.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, he has been out in this wasteland for a while, working his own missions and out of the vault he's in before the whole situation that's kind of kept him out.
Yeah. Yes. By the way, your facility was a listening post.
I know.
Just want to make sure you remember that. Sorry.
I will be bringing that up once we get current objectives done. Matter of fact, part of the reason of him helping and guiding was so that they would assist him with the situation at his vault as well. So
yes. So I just want to make sure that you did remember that. So sorry.
I do.
Okay.
It's all good. Let's keep going.
So with that, the next faction would actually be a somewhat newer faction by this point in time, or by his last reports, and that would be this group calling themselves the New California Republic out on the West Coast. Although he has been out of date with the New California Republic for close to 50 years, reports suggested that they are a faction that got started up maybe about 20 or so years before that, so about 60 years ago-ish, I think, if I remember correctly. I might have to relook that up, but we'll go with that for right now. And they have expanded surprisingly quickly and efficiently, actually, to become a legit nation in of themselves, having already taken over more than half of California and expanding out into Arizona and even New Mexico to some extent or another. They cling to old world ideas, as they described it. Basically, what you and MPR07 would be familiar with as far as the world you grew up in, is what they try to emulate in their society. They indeed are trying to, in their own little way, bring back the United States. Some extent or another. It gets a little sketchy there, but in general, yes. They have had very positive interactions with the NCR Republic in general. They're fairly easy to approach as long as you do not antagonize them. The third, and I will say for the moment at least, because of what he would have had access to, would be the Enclave. Although reports are scattered and uncertain, there have been continuous sightings, even still, that perhaps the Enclave does still exist, or did exist at least, before all personnel left the Area 51.
Yeah, all right. This is where this would
Yes.
probably be where
Thomas
Diego,
can give you more.
yeah. I can provide that. As I mentioned when I introduced myself, I am an agent of the Enclave, and I am assisting both the lieutenant and captain here, mostly as their counsel to getting acclimated to this new time frame that they've found themselves in. The Enclave was set up to continue the government in the event of post-apocalyptic destruction. However, when the bombs fell, a lot of communications between different Enclave factions broke down. We have not been able to hear any signal as to what's been going on in the head base back in DC, much less the safe house off the coast where most of the legislation would have been. Off the what?
West Coast.
No, East
the
Coast.
The safe house was off the West Coast.
Was it?
Yes.
I could have sworn it was off the East Coast, closer to DC.
No, that one was off the West Coast.
Okay, thank you for the correction.
So
at this
they
point,
so they have a bunker off the West Coast?
far as we know, unfortunately, the exact location of that one was a need to know for our vault. So we only know the generalized location in regards to where it might be. At the end of the day, though, considering it's been 150 years now, about 3 generations, we can only assume that either legislation has been either passed down in hereditary in a more shall we say, not so much a democratic, but monarchy type of fashion, if they are actually going to still try to resume the runnings of the office. But as it stands right now, we are all our Enclave faction is at the very least trying to repair communications to get in touch with others and reconfirm mission standards. However, our goals align. We want to bring the United States back together, bring back the democratic system, and push forward with rebuilding the United States.
Well, it'd be.
Also,
I would hope that that's still the goal, though, especially if the legislative group was all in that bunker, as you were saying. That's been being passed down hereditarily. They might not quite see eye to eye with that anymore.
Well,
especially if a family or group of families has been listed as being in power for multiple generations. Human nature trends towards not wanting to give that up.
Nah, I understand exactly where you're coming from, Captain, but That's the goal. That is the
Sergeant.
goal of my faction, and it's my personal goal to see the states rebuilt and back under democratic function.
Sergeant, but
Sergeant, I keep saying captain. Thank you.
but
That being said, it looks like most of your records are up to date with most of what I've known since my working around here in along the west coast here.
what are the odds that this location we need to get to is in territory of the New California Republic? So they're
It's
calling
highly
themselves?
it's highly likely it is going to be in NCR territory. So long, NCR has always been very, shall we say, democratic. All right, they've already been reported friendly with with whoever has come in here within the last 50 years. So I don't think we're going to run into too many issues so long as we state the intentions as investigative, and pretty much just trying to figure out who did what brought about this apocalypse.
Thomas, in your opinion, how likely is it that if they are aware of a base with these sorts of materials, that it is still intact and possibly being manned?
That there's a good 50-50, I'll be honest. Some of the NCR are legacy of some army that may have been in the vaults, may have been in other army-based vaults, or family of army who have been in other Vault-Tec vaults around. So there's a possibility that this base may have been known and may have been investigated by either NCR or been raided by raiders or scavengers. Okay, not to mention considering the time, how long it's been since the bombs have fell, we're going to be counting ourselves lucky if any of the systems are going to be operational, or if the generator there is even active to even bring anything up. I would have to say is we check with the NCR first, see if they're aware of it, and if they've got it under guard, that's going to be the easiest option. But if they are aware of it, but it's not under their control, we may have to offer to help them bring it under their control to be able to take a look at that data.
I think once we get the base here secured and get everything back up and running and operational, I think our best bet might be to try remote communication with them initially.
General, do you still have the frequencies which would be used by these other facilities?
For my clarification, are you guys talking about the early warning systems, or are you talking about the
Automated
other
defense.
My intention in it was we would want to remotely try to communicate with the New California Republic.
Okay, sorry. That's what I needed clarification.
Taylor, I think, was talking about the early warning and missile defense facility.
Yes, that was the reason my question... Hold on a sec.
Almost forgot I was in voice. That was the reason I was asking Diego about it, because at least I think NPR's thought would be, if there's already a station that we have a possible means of communication with, and it's still running, then there might be a chance that these people are controlling it, and we can just talk to them that way.
Okay. All right. So I kind of have two questions to answer, though. That means.
Yes.
But because it's a little confusing, I'll just answer them directly at this point. So, for you, Taylor, the General Kelly would tell you that it is possible. However, the NCR or the facilities, the early detection system facilities, would have lower end communication systems, and that is highly dependent upon how much power those facilities are still receiving. as far as talking with the NCR themselves, Axel, or Silent, that is again a possibility, but basically the same issue of they would have basically like ham radios or something like that. And it would be a bit of luck catching the NCR on the right frequency, though the command center would be able to basically sift through
Scan
hundreds
frequencies
of those frequencies.
Yeah.
Once
it's repowered.
Once it's repowered, it's not infeasible, but you're kind of just shooting in the dark as far as who you get a hold of. Versus,
I think the idea would be to sift through frequencies and figure out what frequencies we can catch any communication or chatter on.
It'd be a little bit easier to
then try to
eavesdrop on them. Yes.
Well, yeah. Then try to identify who it is is on each frequency.
Okay. That would be more the intention of the command center, almost, as far as like eavesdropping on other factions.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'd be able to use it to do that.
Well,
but once we learn who's on what frequencies, we could start figuring out who we want to open communication lines with.
That is, yes.
It sounds like we got ourselves a good bit of work over here to do then before we move on to any other objective. I would also say is that once we get this place fixed up, we move on to my vault next. My vault is a listening post. Listening post and communications array. If we can get back into my vault and take care of the issue that's kept me out of there, we might be able to talk with the remaining Enclave members and get them on board with this to work together.
Reactivating that listening post would go a long way in helping the command center sift through communications in the area, as well as reestablish contact with other members of Operation Long Road.
Yeah, I'm just going to catch a little bit of flack considering that this is supposed to be a secret post.
Well,
At the same time, however, our objectives do align.
I'm still a bit wary of the rest of the Enclave, but if
sorry.
If it helps,
I'd be inclined to help get the listening post back up and running, but I'd be I wouldn't want to give them any information on Operation Long Road or what we're trying to do.
You may have to give at least a little bit of information, especially since, as it stands, like I said, our objectives do align. The short-term statement of Long Road is to restore the United States. That is what the Enclave was built to do.
I would be more inclined to just identify ourselves as Army.
That's fine by us. We're supposed to be secretive anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to give any information on Operation Long Road to the Enclave currently, with the information that we've been able to gather, at least not until we've been able to positively identify who attacked.
Tell you what, how about go ahead, NPR.
I expect that if we are attempting to conceal information, that it should be unlikely for me to participate in communications.
All right, how about this? Let's focus on the command center first for now. Axel, you and I can get together on how we can approach my vault, the situation with my vault, and what information can be shared, or that you want to have shared. At the end of the day, they're going to be looking at me as your mouthpiece, since I've been the one working with y'all. Therefore, I need to know what you want me to say and what you don't want me to say at the end of the day.
That is fair. Just from the information that we were able to get from that was given to me from General Kelly via his message. He also identified the most likely attacker as being Enclave.
The armor you described, I've never heard of before, and I highly doubt Enclave has that type of technology. But I do understand your distrust of the situation, especially since you lived through it. If we get through the situation with the vault, I will talk with my superiors at the vault and have you welcomed in as a guest so that you can explain this and set up a peaceful talk where it's no weapons, just clarify information between each other, and then make a decision from there if we want to work together or not. End of the day, I'll be helping you.
Yeah, from what the general was relaying to us, it looked like the what was being used was how do I want to phrase this and what do I want to say? From what the general what his message said, the tech being used to attack the base seemed to have been U.S. tech, and we didn't get any. There wasn't any prior warning to the missiles launching. No detection from China was found, which would suggest that it was potentially launched from within the U.S.
Yeah, I get that, but it still makes no sense. Anybody of general rank or above have access to Enclave information and Enclave intel.
We must also consider the possibility that whatever group was behind this initial assault no longer exists.
That's a possibility. My current read on it is that if it was the Enclave, it would have been higher ups in the Enclave that ordered the attack on the U.S. Themselves. True. Especially if they're set to be in a position to take over should something happen.
There is one other detail that I did not share earlier, but I wanted to listen things through before I shared it. Any attack that the Enclave goes through has a very specific ordinance. Plasma weaponry. Plasma weaponry has proven to go through most armor and burns and scalds to where it's quick and efficient. From what you've told me, it's been all energy weapons and ballistics. If there was no plasma weaponry, unless this was trying to be made as a cover-up op, it couldn't have been Enclave.
It's a possibility that it was another third party, but
DM question.
I'm also not going to rule out the possibility of it being a cover-up.
Yeah, I hear that. Go ahead.
DM question. Would we be aware of the U.S. having plasma weaponry prior to the attack?
It would be extremely uncommon, though Area 51, you actually most likely would be aware of plasma technology existing. It would be extremely rare in the Army hands, though not unheard of. It would be theorized by conspiracy theorists, even within the Army, that the U.S. government was stockpiling all plasma technology to themselves.
That's also fair. So from what my character knows, I mean, there are rumors. So I'll rephrase that as, I mean, there were rumors of plasma tech existing, but at least from when these attacks happened, not really a whole lot of information about plasma weaponry.
You might have seen like 1 or 2 plasma weapons at the at Area 51.
Like prototypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, any
Um,
any plasma weaponry that I've even heard of being on base has all been prototype. So, any advancements in plasma tech have happened after we launched, after the attack that came to our base.
I think it also worth considering that even with what you have said, Thomas, your view of the Enclave is based upon your lifetime, and early groups that led to the Enclave may have had different ideals or modus operandi.
That's fair. After all, this all happened 150 years ago. My views may be biased with the current conditions that we've been under since the bombs came down.
Especially if you grew up in an Enclave facility, basically grew up in the Enclave, that, you know, it's not uncommon for groups to tell people growing up under their rule what they want them to hear. That's
That's
kind of brainwashing 101, for lack of better terminology.
Nah, that makes sense. That's one of the reasons why I want to also confirm information as well with my faction. But you know what? A lot of this conjecture ain't gonna happen until we actually talk to them and we get more details. So, how about we table this and let's focus on the current project we got in front of us.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen until we get the base up and running here.
Yeah.
At the very least, it will be very difficult to obtain intel without communications arrays.
So we got 2 reactors we got to get rebooted and repaired if need be. And we also need to get the general here hooked back up to the mainframe so that he can keep this place under guard while we're out on missions.
Yeah, which also means we need to get the place cleared of
Remaining hostiles.
whatever the hell else is in here. But,
Yeah, that's
especially
gonna get fun.
Especially from the descriptions you gave, it sounds like some of those creatures we were seeing roaming around are those what were they called? The Doom Claws?
Death Claws, but I've heard that iteration of them before. I think there was actually one albino Death Claw that was given the name Doom Claw because of how high its kill count was.
Yeah, I'll be happy
keeps
if
track of that.
I'll be happy if we don't ever run into that.
This is one dude falling around. Ah, yeah, killed someone else. Tick.
Nah, nothing like that, but more like cryptid stories passed along.
I know. It's a funny concept.
Yeah.
That's got a higher kill count. How do we know?
Oh, Jim likes to follow it around in his truck and keep a tally.
I think he sees it as his pet. Never goes near it though. He knows better.
Oh boy.
All right. So I think we're wrapping up for tonight.
Mhm.
And
I'll give you
prepping
guys-
for our next session to be nuclear repair stuff.
I think before we get to nuclear repair, we're gonna have to do some hostile clearing.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that, and I
Well-
might have to see about doing another map or 2 to facilitate a little bit better combat.
Yeah, we're
We'll
gonna
see.
want to rest up and
Yep.
whatnot, and
You have plenty of facilities for resting up.
There are plenty of beds. Dan needs to get us a list of what's in the armory and the kitchen stores. We need to.
Oh, I'm actually going to give that to you guys right now. It's not a lot.
We can probably
Oh.
add. This is actually a good place where we can actually start storing up equipment and
Mhm.
figuring out what loadouts we're gonna want to take with us on any given mission.
Yes.
Mhm.
Loadout. BMPR. Okay, good.
Yep.
Yes,
but do you-
decked out in a pinstripe suit and a fedora.
I love it.
Yup.
What the fuck, man?
Look,
He's slowly building up to become
human.
I was gonna say our one true Skynet meets the Mafia overlord.
well, this is also because, like, this is me equipping formal clothing so that if we get into a situation where we have to actually, like, talk to people, I don't 100% flub it.
And with that, I'm going to bed.
Night.
All right. Yeah, I think
Good night.
we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna wrap the recording.